Welcome to Chronicles and Legends. Please hit that subscribe and let us know where in the world are you tuning in from. Let's get started. Paimon, the horrifying rise of the ninth king of hell. Chapter 1. The King. Beneath the crown, have you ever felt an unseen presence watching, guiding, even commanding your fate from the shadows? Tonight, we descend into the abyss to uncover the terrifying truth behind one of demonology's most powerful and enigmatic figures. A being whose name has echoed through the chambers of ancient grimoires and into the unsettling whispers of modern horror. His name is Paimon. And he is no mere spirit or myth. He is the king of forbidden knowledge, the lord of legions, and according to some, the true architect behind fate itself. But who or what is Paimon really? To understand his nature, we must go back, far beyond Hollywood horror, back to the dusty pages of occult history where his story was first whispered in terrified reverence. Long before he was feared as a demon, Paimon was revered as a celestial being, an angel of immense knowledge and splendor. According to medieval occult texts like the Ars Goetia and Pseudomonarchia Daemonum, Paimon was once among the Order of Dominions, or in some versions, the mighty cherubim, divine beings closest to the throne of God. He served faithfully until the Great Rebellion, when a third of heaven's host rose with Lucifer to challenge the divine. Defeated, cast from the heavens, Paimon did not vanish. He adapted, and for his unwavering loyalty to Lucifer, he was crowned a king of hell, a title earned not through brute force, but through knowledge, strategy, and dominion over the arcane. Unlike other demons who clawed their way through infernal ranks with chaos and carnage, Paimon's ascent was calculated. He is not just a warrior, he is a tactician of reality. The authority of a king. In the infernal hierarchy, Paimon stands as one of the 9 kings of hell, second in authority only to Lucifer himself. No other demon may command him. His will is sovereign. How powerful is he? Depending on the source, Paimon commands between 85 and 200 legions of spirits, a staggering army of demons and fallen angels, organized with military precision. These legions are not mindless fiends. Many are entities of intellect and craft, bound to Paimon through dark pacts and loyalty forged in fire. They are his ears and eyes, moving between planes, influencing politics, war, discovery, and, some believe, even technological leaps. Is often invoked by those who seek power beyond human limitation. From alchemists searching for the philosopher's stone, to monarchs desperate to win wars by unseen hands. During the Renaissance, a new hunger stirred across Europe, not just for gold or land, but for hidden knowledge. Secret societies, alchemists, and noble occultists began turning their gaze toward the forgotten gods of old, among them Paimon. They believed he held the secrets to the stars, medicine, military victory, and the divine structure of the cosmos itself. His name appears in grimoires not just as a demon to be feared, but as an entity to be consulted. Yet every invocation came with a price, because Paimon does not give without taking. Those who summoned him were required to perform rituals of exact precision, speak his names in forgotten tongues, and, most importantly, approach him with reciprocity, for Paimon does not tolerate arrogance. He demands respect, understanding, and often something more. Before his appearance, trumpets may echo through the spiritual realm, a parade of lesser spirits announcing his arrival. He is often depicted riding a dromedary, cloaked in regal robes crowned with gold and pearls. His face is both masculine and feminine, a blend that reflects his deep understanding of human duality, and his voice, a deafening roar. So intense is his speech that a summoner must request he lower his tone just to comprehend his words. His arrival is more than symbolic. It is a declaration. You have dared reach into the depths of hell. Now listen and pay the price. The summoner must face northwest, where Paimon's domain is said to lie within the spiritual geography of the infernal realms. This orientation isn't just ritualistic, it's a signal of submission, aligning oneself to the pathways through which he can be reached. Paimon's appeal lies not in destruction, but in revelation. He is said to possess mastery over all arts and sciences, especially philosophy, alchemy, astronomy, and hidden aspects of the natural world. He can unlock secrets of water, air, fire, and earth. He understands the machinery of thought, the architecture of dreams, and even the subtle forces that shape desire and memory. And to some, this makes him more dangerous than any violent demon, because knowledge, unearned, unrestricted, and untethered from morality, is a weapon as potent as any sword or spell. It is here, in this temptation, that Paimon becomes more than a demon. He becomes a mirror, reflecting our thirst to know, to control, to exceed our own limits, no matter the cost. This is only the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into Paimon's powers of mind control, resurrection, and spiritual possession, and we'll confront the sinister implications of what it means to invoke him, or worse, to be chosen by him. But remember, once you call a king, he doesn't leave quietly. Subscribe to Esoteric Archives for the next descent into the abyss. Chapter 2. The Price of Power. They called to him for answers, but what they received was something else entirely. Behind every invocation of King Paimon lies a harrowing truth. Power demands sacrifice, and those who beckon him from the shadows soon discover there is no such thing as a gift without consequence. He doesn't simply arrive. He enters through dreams, voices, visions, and sometimes through flesh. This chapter is not just about what Paimon can do, it's about what happens to those who dare open the door. A king's command, not asked, but taken. Once summoned, Paimon does not behave like a loyal servant. He is not a genie to be ordered, nor a devil easily dismissed. He expects ritual respect, and in return he may offer unearthly gifts. Mastery over arts and sciences, access to hidden truths of nature, familiar spirits who obey the summoner's will, knowledge of the mind and its manipulation. But these gifts are not without price. The summoner must speak to him face to face, answer his questions honestly, and accept that the knowledge he offers may come with irreversible consequences. Some report that after the ritual, they are haunted not by monsters, but by visions, dreams, and an inner voice that no longer feels like their own. Is it madness, or has something taken hold? One of Paimon's most appealing powers to magicians and occultists is his ability to grant familiars, spiritual companions that serve the summoner. These familiars often take the form of animals, owls, cats, dogs, even serpents. But they are not pets. They are watchers, messengers, spies. Some believe they are fragments of Paimon's legion, bound to obey, but still tethered to their master. Over time, these familiars can even bond with bloodlines, becoming a hereditary force passed from parent to child. But what happens when a spirit outlasts the will of the summoner? Legends speak of familiars turning on those they were meant to serve, guiding descendants into lives marked by obsession, addiction, or tragedy. To receive Paimon's favor is not a moment, it is a legacy. More than almost any other demon, Paimon is associated with influence over the human mind. His gifts aren't just knowledge, they are insight into persuasion and manipulation, mind control and dream intrusion, the ability to implant visions, shape belief, or even drive madness. It's no coincidence that many who claim to have contacted him speak of dreams where their own thoughts feel foreign, or waking visions of another presence behind their eyes, and in extreme cases, possession. But unlike Hollywood-style demonic rampages, Paimon's possession is quiet, subtle. It begins with whispered thoughts, a strange compulsion, an idea that won't leave until it becomes your only thought. To invite Paimon is to engage in a precise, ritualistic contract. According to the Lemmergeton and related grimoires, the process is as follows. Circle preparation. The summoner must inscribe a ritual circle, invoking the protective names of power, surrounding themselves with divine words for safety. Sigil presentation. Paimon's seal, a sacred symbol of his name, must be drawn flawlessly on parchment or metal. Orientation. The ritual must be performed facing northwest, the direction of his domain in hell. Incantation. The summoner calls him by name, repeatedly, with full intention and clarity. Reciprocity. Once Paimon appears, the summoner must answer his questions. This exchange is essential. Paimon demands interaction, not domination. And then comes the offering. Paimon does not demand mindless bloodshed, but he does demand something of value. Offerings vary: incense, music, gold. But in some cases, the exchange is far more intimate. Some grimoires suggest sacrifice, though not always physical. Rather, a surrendering of will, an internal submission, or the offering of another's fate, a loved one, a child, or even future generations. In rare accounts, Paimon appears alongside two lesser kings, Theal and Abalam. Abalam, in particular, is rumored to possess the horrifying ability to impregnate women by desire alone, producing children marked by a demonic essence. Are these just myths, or are they warnings from those who tried and failed to control the king? Many practitioners believe that once Paimon is invoked, he never truly leaves. Even when dismissed by proper ritual, something remains. An imprint, like the lingering scent of sulfur in an empty room. Some have reported sudden loss of empathy, recurring nightmares with unknown symbols, objects moving or vanishing, mental spirals that lead to obsession or madness. These symptoms aren't just paranormal, they are psychological, because what Paimon gives you is not always knowledge. Sometimes, it's a burden your mind cannot carry. You've now glimpsed what it means to call on the king. But what if you never needed to summon him at all? In our final chapter, we will uncover how Paimon entered modern pop culture, from the chilling tale of Hereditary to real-life accounts of people who believe they are descended from his influence. And we'll ask the most terrifying question of all. What if he is already here? Subscribe now to join us for the final descent into the forbidden. Chapter 3. The demon that lurks in blood. We've seen Paimon rise through the ancient ranks of hell. We've studied his power, his rituals, and the cost of invoking his name. But perhaps his most terrifying form is the one we never intended to invite. Because Paimon doesn't always enter through ritual. Sometimes he enters through family. In 2018, director Ari Aster released Hereditary, a horror film that chilled audiences worldwide. But beyond the screams and shadows, there was something deeper at play. Aster wasn't just telling a ghost story. He was staging a ritual, one where the villain wasn't a masked killer or a haunted house, but an ancient demon hidden inside a family tree. The film follows the Graham family, who descend into madness after the death of their grandmother, Ellen, a woman whose life was secretly devoted to summoning King Paimon. And in the end, we discover the horrifying truth. Everything that happened was part of a carefully orchestrated ritual, not to haunt the family, but to transform them. From the very first frame, Hereditary is about control, generational manipulation, secrets, and sacrifice. Ellen secretly grooms her granddaughter, Charlie, as a vessel for Paimon. When Charlie dies in a freak accident, attention shifts to Peter, her older brother. Unbeknownst to him, Peter is being prepared, shaped to become the demon's final host. The film's brilliance lies in how it mirrors real-world demonic lore. Ellen doesn't force anything. She simply plants the seeds, lies, deaths, dreams, and lets the family destroy itself from within. This is how Paimon works. Not with brute force, but with destiny. In ancient demonology, certain spirits, especially kings like Paimon, are believed to attach not just to individuals, but to bloodlines. Occult. Texts describe demonic pacts that extend through generations. If a great-grandparent summoned Paimon and failed to complete the ritual, the obligation may pass on, unseen, but not undone. This makes Hereditary not fiction, but a thematic reflection of demonic truth. You don't need to summon Paimon. You just need to inherit the right curse. The Grahams are victims of a fate they never chose, a path carved by one woman's ambition and a demon's patience. But Hereditary also works because it uses Paimon as a symbol, not just of evil, but of trauma. Paimon becomes a metaphor for family secrets, mental illness passed down, buried grief that grows monstrous when ignored. When Peter is finally possessed, it's not just the culmination of a ritual. It's a metaphor for a child inheriting the unresolved sins of the parent. In that moment, he doesn't just lose his soul, he loses his identity, and that perhaps is the scariest part of all. Paimon doesn't take your body, he takes your story. Since the release of Hereditary, interest in Paimon has surged online. Occult forums debate his real sigil and invocation. YouTube videos claim to document real rituals conducted in his name. Some practitioners report spiritual experiences, dreams, and unexplainable coincidences after trying to contact him. One Reddit user claimed to have performed the full Goetic ritual, offering incense and chanting Paimon's name for 7 nights. He documented his experience. At first, nothing happened. But then, I started dreaming of a crowned figure watching me. He never spoke, just stood, silently, as if waiting. Now I can't sleep. I hear music, trumpets, when I'm alone. Is it real? A hoax? Or is this exactly how Paimon spreads? Through stories, whispers, and the desire to know more. In the end, Paimon represents more than just a demon. He is the archetype of forbidden knowledge, the scientist who goes too far, the parent who hides a terrible truth, the human desire to control what cannot be controlled. And like Faust before us, we're all tempted by the same deal. Give me power, give me truth, and I will pay, whatever it costs. But the price isn't just your soul, it's your future, your children, your name. Conclusion. What haunts us? Paimon is not simply summoned, he is inherited by blood, by trauma, by desire. Whether you believe in demons or not, the truth remains. The past lives in us. The decisions of our ancestors shape our present. And sometimes, the darkest forces wear the mask of legacy. So before you ask for power, pause. Ask yourself not just what you want, but what you're willing to lose to get it. Because once Paimon enters, he never truly leaves. If this exploration of the hidden world unsettled or intrigued you, subscribe. Join us again as we peel back the veil on forgotten knowledge, forbidden entities, and the shadows that shape reality. Until then, sleep well and beware the crown.